Oh, hello there, YouTube. It's been a while. Great to see you, and I got a juicy old next round series for you. It is featuring, of course, our beloved second Korean matchup here, the second Korean to survive here, the only other Korean other than Scan left in our Tournament of Titans, and it is, of course, J.H. Voss himself, going to be the Protoss, the dangerous Protoss, and he will be up against Mr. Vulture, who was able to defeat a Korean himself, though it was a fairly poopy doop Korean. Um, Vulture, though, is looking to get his second Korean kill here. JH, though, going to be a Protoss, and he's going for his choke gateway build here. Not quite the mid build, not quite the at home. It's a little bit in between. And he is going to look for some aggression. And unfortunately for Vulture, he is going to be scouted immediately. So this pressure is going to be coming in fast, and it is going to be coming in hard. Vulture better clench those cheeks, because I feel like he's in for some hurting here. That is just not what you want here. It is going to be a third gateway here for Mr. JH, and yeah, he is going to be going in hard here, I do imagine. Vulture going to see how he reacts here to being scouted so quickly in a PvT matchup. Let's see if he's going to get a fourth gateway, or if he's going to choose to go the Forge route here. Vulture opting to scout his corner here, just to make sure that a cannon rush has not already begun here. But luckily for him, a gateway or a pylon has not been built in his base yet. This SCV is going to spot this probe here, and this probe has some bad intentions in mind. It wants to get that pylon up, and it is going to be at his choke here area. So the first two zealots are on the way here. The Marines are being rallied back at home, and no tech has yet been started for our Terran player here. One Marine did come out to see exactly what kind of carnage is coming his way. A bunker set up here in a pretty good location, I would say there. The SCV also going to block that pathway of these zealots here. Academy going down now. One SCV in that refinery, and these pylons are inching closer here, keeping these zealots alive here. These zealots are going to try to get a kill here, not yet able to shed any blood on this Terran army here, just moving these pylons closer while keeping his zealots alive. Escaping back into the bunker, but one Marine finally does fall, but very good micro so far from our Terran player here. These cannons, though, have begun, and his time is possibly running out. Knowing this, he does pull his SCVs to fight alongside of his Marines here, going to opt to pass the fight and actually go after those cannons, going to stop them from starting. Meanwhile, actually a pretty good job here targeting these zealots as well here, using these SCVs as a little bit of a wall here to block these zealot path from getting a surround on these Marines here. Cannon almost complete at the choke, but so far excellent job, and excellent job for a Terran player. And now the Firebat and medics are going to be starting to come out, so it looks like he is not going to die to this initial pressure here, and he is going to be able to fight another day. May not be able to get out of his base here, but just denying these cannons here is going to be excellent for him. He's going to buy himself a lot of time here, and force JH to slowly inch forward instead of just totally destroying these barracks here, keeping everything alive very nicely. We can see that his SCV count is fairly low, though, as pulling those SCVs for that long of a time will inevitably hurt your economy here. But at the price of your life isn't that bad here. Back at home, the gas has started, as well as his cybernetics core going down. No additional gateways going back at home, just one cannon in case some kind of firebat run by did occur. We do have another battle up here, and it looked like 2 Marines died there, and a possible zealot or 2 also. Still, no cannons able to get up front, being a little bit forward with this factory here. We'll see how well that goes out. Not enough room for a add-on, but yeah, also quite risky here. A couple of zealots up here looking to spread out that Terran army, but as of right now, no threat is imminent. Going to kill another Marine there, but with a stim now here. Fighting on two fronts here. Going to try to target those SCVs while also trying to pick off any spare Marines, but the bunker is going to save the day here. Zealots are taken out here at the top, and an SCV that was constructing that factory is also going to go down here. Um, no tech. Oh, it looks like he's going to go Dragoon Range. So he's adding on now 4 additional gateways. Now that he has blocked the Terran from choking, he is going to try to capitalize on this by massing up Dragoons here. Dragoons are going to be super good against this army, especially if the Terran player is unable to get these tanks up. That is why you normally build your factory at the back here, but with the JH spreading up his zealots, it seems to be probably would have been picked off unknowingly here too. These zealots in the back going to be taking out a lot of SUV here. The SUVs are trying to stack and are doing a great job. But Vulture doesn't seem to feel too threatened here and is going to throw down a command center. I'm not sure about that as the first Dragoons are coming up here. And they are going to be a nightmare as they are going to be microed probably pretty well here. The Marine range, though, is just finishing up, so that is good here. In Engineering Bay, knowing that DTs are a possibility. DTs, though, are, of course, not on the menu tonight. Just going to be Dragoon range here. And this could be okay, but I think as these numbers go up with these Dragoons, they are going to be able to take out this army and slowly wither it away, as siege tanks just are not anywhere near uh, going to be out on the map. Yeah, he's just going to have to lift that up to find some room, and that is going to be farther away from any kind of protection. Also going to be super vulnerable to these Dragoons to pick off that machine shop and potentially slow down that upgrade even more here. So I believe Vulture is in a bit of trouble here. JH now having a pretty good supply lead, going to jump in here with a pretty good surround on this Terran army. The Terran army is going to try to stim and micro as best he can, but the Dragoon numbers, too early, too strong, are going to be quite powerful against this army here. Not even having to micro too much. A little bit of micro is going down, but yeah, this army... Okay, look at that. The Terran actually army is going to stay on. There we go. Now he is going to micro a little bit more. Not going to be able to just move into this army. More reinforcements coming in here. And yeah, the Marine number is just so low. These medics are just not going to have enough healing power to keep them alive. Excellent targeting job there from these Dragoons, and the Dragoons now going to pick off that very vulnerable machine shop here, going to make sure that this one siege tank will never have siege mode. A couple of SUVs are going to be pulled in a last-ditch effort to possibly repair and push back these Dragoons, but the Dragoons are just never going to stop here. And yeah, the Marine number is withering down as the Dragoon numbers continue to rise, and JH is going to take a 1-0 lead in the series here. And yeah, in a nicely done fashion here. He did have, what did he have, one upgrade? No, he's about to have one upgrade there. But yeah, just Dragoons are going to be enough as soon as he was able to establish blocking the Terran from choking here. So very well done here by JH, making quick work of Sir Vulture himself. And with that conclusion of game 1, we will jump into a game number 2. With game number 2 beginning, we are going to get JHS Terran and Vulture this time as Protoss. So a little bit of a reverse on the matchup here. But unfortunately for Vulture, JH is going to be directly on top of him, and that is just asking to be abused, possibly with very quick tank drops, very quick nukes. We'll see exactly what JH decides to do. But yeah, I feel like Vulture is going to be on a timer this game. in order to kill JH before he can just possibly harass him. He is going to be in the pros of these positions. Vulture is going to be extremely close to JH to get his drops, extremely short distance for him to get up there. Um, so we'll see exactly who this benefits, but I feel like as the game goes on, Vulture is going to be in a bit of trouble just from these positions here. It looks like Vulture is going to go for a Nexus first. Let's hope that he puts it over here and not up here, because that will get taken out in the later game, as Siege mode can reach up from this bottom position here. Vulture is going to opt to go for the Nexus first, so right away I don't think that is the best option. Of course, he does not know the positions of the Terran or the race of his opponent, so I don't blame him for this build, but again, and with the double gateway, I'm not sure this is the best option. So he's not even going to go for that quick cybernetics core, that quick forge and gas. He is going to get that forge, so maybe he will, but normally you see the forge into the gateway, so a little bit of a switch up here. And again, JH is going to scout Vulture almost immediately here. So Vulture can just not be feeling good, especially with his Nexus first build here. JH is going to be able to scout that and apply pressure accordingly here. We're probably going to see some pretty Gosu Marine Micro here while keeping this SCV alive. We'll see exactly how Vulture responds to this. Now the double gateway doesn't seem like that bad of an idea here. He is going to have to get a cannon up back at home, as the cannons at the front are going to be vulnerable to this Marine pressure. Marines are being rallied, and he is going to pull a couple of extra SCVs. Looks like 4 SCVs he's additionally going to pull up here with a bunker at the top. So this is going to have to be dealt with ASAP, as this bunker may actually be in range of some of these Marines, possibly this Nexus, definitely this Nexus up top here. A couple of probes are being pulled here, and we're seeing a little bit of a battle here. The bunker is going to get established, but luckily for Vulture, these Zealots were out in time to pick off these Marines here. A couple more Marines are being rallied in here, but the bunker is almost dead anyway, so this may be able to die. He did pull his SCVs back home, so they're not even going to stick around to repair, and this pressure looks like it is going to be held with minimal damage here. We do finally see those Marines dancing around here, but at what cost? JH did lose a lot of mining time. I don't know how many SCVs exactly he did lose here, but I would say now Vulture is in an excellent position here to continue on to this game here. More Marines are being rallied down, and it looks like these SCVs did take a little bit of a reverse and are going to come back down here to continue to pressure this choke here. But with the double gateway, which I'm glad he did do now, as a single gateway may not have been enough to hold on to this pressure. And that's probably why JH did go for this, because usually it is a single gateway after the Nexus. So well done for Vulture here, getting his own little twist on this build. He is pulling some probes here, but they are not going to stay stacked. And I don't know how well this is going to do here. Marines targeting that Zealot here, and probes just trying to buy time for these cannons to get built, but these SCVs were sticking back and are going to continue to delay these cannons from getting up here. And the Protoss has lost quite a few probes, so his the SCVs and probes are all getting a lot of fight into here. More probes being pulled here, really trying to stay alive here, and it looks like it is going to be a successful pull this time. Not many probes back at home, but he does have some probes to spare, as he did just go for that really quick Nexus here, and it looks like it is going to force the Terran player to back up here. Firebats now are being created, so you don't want to fight probes versus Firebats. He is going to get these probes back and working, as his mineral count is pretty low, unable to even continue Zealot production at the moment. He really wants to get that single cannon up, a couple more cannons going down. A Marine looks like it did get taken out here, and it looks like he will survive now, officially survive that early pressure from JH. An extremely intense beginning here. We'll see if JH is going to continue that aggression against this cannon and Zealots here. Cannons just wrecked wreak havoc on infantry, especially without medics. But the numbers may be high enough where it could be worse. It will be exactly how JH feels about that. He is throwing down a command center at home and an additional barracks here. So not yet teching up. I don't see STEM started yet. I don't think that he did get that, investing most of his minerals in the continuing production of those barracks units here. A couple of zealots here going to poke forward to see exactly what JH is doing, and his cybernetic score is going down. He did get that gas fairly early, so he does have a bit of a bank of gas. We'll see exactly how he decides to utilize that, if he's going to go for the Dragoon range or if he's going to throw down that robotics. Citadel of the Dune is the choice, so it looks like he is going to try to get for the DTs. And it looks like JH is actually going to try to stim in here, but the cannon number looks like it may be too high, but I could be speaking too soon. Very nice targeting on here, but yeah, I don't think there's going to be enough. These last couple of cannons are going to finish up just in time to prevent this, yet again, this pressure from JH here. JH really looking to crush Vulture ASAP, not even interested in the late game spot abuse. He just wants to kill him immediately, and that's why we all love to watch these Koreans. They are just so hella aggressive here. Another barracks getting thrown down here, and a starport. So I believe he is going to attempt some tank drops here ASAP while continuing to amass those Marines. So yeah, he is going up to 6 barracks here, going to get that melee range, or that just the attack, I guess, of the ground unit. A zealot does come in here to get a nice scout off, going to see exactly what's up with this Terran player, going to see everything, that extra command center, going to see that academy flash, and that he's going to continue to get Marines as the upgrading Marine range, and also those additional barracks, knowing that a lot of pressure is going to be incoming. The robotics facility looks like it is going to be thrown up. Where is the robotics? Okay, there we go. 2 robotics thrown up here, and the first scan is going to be thrown down. I believe he did scan right around this area, so he's going to see those robotics facilities at the front here. So I don't know how much I like that, but he is going to throw some gateways up here to shield them as much as possible. I would prefer to see them back here, as the tanks are going to be out here soon, and they are going to be able to possibly unpower or just straight up kill these robotics facilities a little bit quicker than you would want if they were back here. We do have the Templar of Archives done, and High Templars being produced. DT's not going to be the best, as JH did build a turret up here. These Marines now with a Marine range are going to be able to target down those gateways. We do see that dropship coming out here. The first tank is going to be out here to start picking away at this choke, and you can just see those Marine medic numbers are just getting huge here. First Reaver is out. We do have one turret. We do have a couple of turrets out here at the bottom here, nicely spread out to be able to possibly prevent this from going in here, but instead he is going to opt to use these Reavers to defend right now. Reavers are pretty good versus medics, and going to very nicely pick off that first tank, which is going to be very nice, as the rest of the tanks look like they are going to be saved up to be dropped in. So he does have actually quite a few cannons up here. He probably needs at least one more at the top here to prevent this drop from doing too much damage, and the first High Templar drop is being started here. Marines now that that tank was taken out. Oh, what did I just miss there? Did he just try to drop there and I just fucking missed it? Fuck. I didn't see exactly what happened, but it sounded like the tanks did siege. It looked like some of these Marines these probes are hurt. So he definitely must have dropped there. Should we reverse just to check out? Yeah, okay, we're going to reverse there. Let me just reverse it 1 millisecond. Of course, the drop. Okay. Yeah, the tank gets, the tank gets killed. Right, we saw this. The Marines get pulled back. There we go. This is going to be loaded up with a single tank. Okay, he is going to be a little bit impatient here and just drop with a single tank. Let's see if this did do anything. We just have to do a little bit of a reverse here. This tank does siege up, and oh my god, it does get a shot off, and it does kill 29 effing probes here. So thank god we did reverse that, because that was absolutely huge. Holy shite there. Very nicely done. Only a single tank, able to kill over or just about half of the probes there, and that is going to absolutely kill, or at least not kill, but it's going to hurt. That is not going to be good. He is going to have to get some damage here with his drop. Uh, Not the most defense here. A lot of the defense is here at the top, which is the most likely spot for these drops to come in. But luckily for Vulture, he is going to be able to sneak in here at the bottom here. But very good targeting from our Terran player is going to pick that off without any casualties. So good defense there. Vulture did pick a very good pathway here, but unfortunately for him, that drop isn't going to get any damage done, and now he is in a world of hurt. You do not want to be down in supply at this point in the game to a Terran player, especially a Terran player who has been just pressuring you non-stop. This would normally be the time where you have a bit of an opportunity to do some counter pressure, as the Terran has invested so heavily into all of that early damage here. The shuttle is luckily going to AFK his way out of there, and this drop from the Terran looks like it's going to go all the way around near the bottom where there is absolutely no defense. So that wait and journey looks like it may just be worth it for him. That third command center is going down, and the Terran is just getting up to that deadly factory number here while just defending those drops. Not even bothering to get his choke up, as I feel like he realizes how much damage he did to that economy here. The Protoss does not want another drop to come and destroy him, so throwing down a couple of additional cannons here. One even at the bottom, and a couple of Reavers back here just in case. This drop is finally arriving at the same time as the Protoss. A scan did just go down here for the Terran player. Going to going to scan the main here to see exactly what's going on and not drop in the best position. I feel like dropping down here would be a little bit better, but he did take that risk to come over here, and that is where all of the units are rallied. Fortunately for him, he is going to see that a drop was being loaded here, may be able to react super quickly here. Turrets are going to be set up here. Marines are being stimmed, targeting down that Corsair. The dropships, though, are going to land here. Whoa, but opting not to throw down any storms, because look at that, he did forget Psionic Storm. So absolutely devastating mistake there. It happens to the best of us, but he did forget Psionic Storm. So as much damage as that could have done and equalized that game, it is going to be for nothing, as one of the most important upgrades for Protoss was not upgraded. And I'm sure Vulture is kicking himself in his own testicles, as that just feels like absolutely garbage when you make such a newbie mistake like that. It does happen to the best of us, especially when you are getting pressured so much by one of the deadliest Koreans in the world. That drop plus the Psionic Storm, those two mistakes are absolutely not going to be what you need to defeat the monster that is JH, and it looks like Vulture is going to get himself down 0-2 to JH. Very unfortunate for him, but you cannot be making those kind of mistakes versus someone as high level as JH. JH, one of the favorites to get into the finals and win this tournament, going to be way too strong. The little drop defend is not going to be enough, and the numbers are going to be too high. 200 maxed out. JH is going to go down and destroy Vulture, and that is going to be a nice 2-0 for Mr. JH here. Let's see if Vulture can jump back and get himself a W, as we've been seeing a lot of 3-0s here in this tournament. Let's go, Vulture. You can. I still believe. We'll see you in game number 3 after we take a quick gander at this delicious score screen. Very high APM for both of these players, and we'll go into game number 3. I'm cheering for you, Vulture. Let's get a W here. Go, Vulture, go. Oh, Vulture going to be Terran once more. Versus JH as a Protoss. So not the matchup that he probably would particularly have picked in the situation that he is down 0-2. JH's Protoss versus Terran is pretty good. So we'll see exactly what the builds are going to be opted out here for. Let's see if JH is going to go for that choke gateway again. He is indeed going to do that. Seems to be the build of choice here, a little bit safer than that mid build and a little bit more aggressive than the standard pylon gateways up here. Let's see how Vulture is going to respond. Vulture cannot be in the best mindset right now, as he did just kind of throw away that game a little bit with not upgrading the Psionic Storm, because that absolutely could have changed the tides there if he was able to take out all those SCVs. Four High Templars were landed right by the main, and he just wasn't able to storm as he just forgot the upgrade. So a devastating mistake that will just absolutely damper your whole outlook on this game and possibly life itself. So we'll see exactly how he is going to recover, if he is mentally strong enough to forget about that and just focus on the next game here. Going to go for the double barracks gas. So we're going to see a very quick academy here, and possibly a nice fire bat rush here from Vulture. Could be a good choice, but in classic JH fashion, he is once again going to scout not the first but the second position here, and he is going to know exactly what he is up against. He's going to see that double barracks here. He did throw down 3 gateways himself here, so he is going to be opting for a lot of pressure and a forge here. So he is going to try that cannon push once again, but let's see how well this goes, as he is going to be up against a very quick stim and fire bats here. On a double barracks here. This does require a lot of micro this build, as you just cannot be losing any kind of marines here, as your numbers aren't going to be as high. They are going to be pretty powerful, as you are going to have firebacks and medics fairly quickly here, but you cannot be losing anything. Even losing that first SCV is not going to be good. You want to be able to scout your opponent too. 2 pylons are thrown down very aggressively. He seems to really like to get that safety pylon back here, just in case this frontal pylon fails. He doesn't commit to it too early, as he does like to go for the kill attacks right away. This first little micro war is going to be thrown down here. Very nice by Vulture. Vulture has been keeping his marines alive very well here. But JH is not any slouch here with his marines. He seems to know, or zealots, he seems to know where to position and when to engage here. One zealot did lose most of his shields here, but these cannons are now going to be thrown up here, pulling a couple of SCVs to try to wall for these marines, but the numbers are too low. He is opting for 1 medic and 1 firebat. Did try to engage a little bit before, but the numbers just don't seem to be high enough. He just scouted too early, and these cannons are going to be thrown up so close to his production here without any answer in sight. He is going for stim 2 before range, so even a bunker is not going to save him. He is pulling the SCVs here to try to keep himself alive. They are going to engage with these marine firebat medics, and they do take out some of these zealots, but again, the numbers are just too small. These SCVs are getting taken out here, and if they do not prevent all of these cannons from going up, this may just not be worth it at all. JH just focusing down these SCVs, not even worrying too much about anything else, as killing the SCVs will destroy that economy. These firebats are coming out, but in the small numbers that they are actually, no, look at that. He does survive. 1 cannon, though, is going to be enough to pull that back. Does not have the best SCV count. You can see he's down to 6 SCVs, so he doesn't even have the economy to rebuild some of these units, and this next wave of cannons looks like it will be enough, as well as this continuing rallying of zealots, and he is going to GG out of that. And unfortunately for Mr. Vulture, he is going to fall pretty quickly to the 0-3 of JH. The bad news is that was a fairly quick series, but the good news means we are going to see JH versus Scan. Go ahead and throw those brackets up, because yeah, hell yeah, that is going to be a hell of a series. I don't imagine that being a 3-game series. because these two players have just been crushing their way through this competition, and they will face off for their ticket to the finals, where they may seek their revenge versus the Korean Slayer if the Korean Slayer is able to make it there himself. Not going to jump the gun too early, but yeah, that is going to be a super awesome series. I'm also looking forward to the Kokani versus Hydra series. That should be good, as well as the semifinals there. But yeah, Scan versus JH, that is going to be up and going, and yeah, that should be a doozy of a series. The two Koreans who are absolutely crushing it right now are going to face off. Unfortunately for Vulture, he is only going to be able to kill one Korean, and now the Koreans are going to have to team kill themselves. But yeah, that should be good. I'm excited for JH versus Scan. I'm excited for Hydra versus Kokani, and then I'm excited for the winner of Hydra versus Kokani to face off against Def Jam, the Terran Gosu himself. So yeah, these next couple of series should be good. I don't imagine seeing many more 3-0s here, but we shall see. We shall see. GG guys, and yeah, I will see you in the next series, my friends.